Welcome back to another Derby Dynasty devlog. Last time we worked on getting assistant trainers into the game, letting the player hire them, and just kind of having that facet of the game introduced. Um, Off of line, I got to go through the assistant trainers, and now that you have them actually hired, um, they needed to actually do something for you. And I got them to the point where they're actually working out your horses as you go. As you can see, this recent workouts is still a little bit of a work in progress. But now, for the most part, these trainers are putting them through the motions. You can see I spammed uh, slow distance training with this horse because I was working on some comments, trying to get those a little more realistic. But as you go, your horse is actually going to stay in shape, and you can see their condition improve. They're going to get better. I've got this 2-year old focusing on development. These other two focus on racing. You can see this one went out and won a pretty good maiden special weight first out. So while it's tired and still has a ways to go on development, this is working pretty well and as intended. So today we're going to work on trying to bring these horse profiles to life a little bit more. We have this information about a horse, its record, earnings, trainer, and you can't see the horse. And that's kind of a problem with this being a horse racing game. People are going to want to see their horses. So my idea is to have like an actual live 3D representation of the horse in here as kind of a headshot. Hopefully at some point you can do a little bit interacting with it. But this is going to be something a little bit new to me. So I'm going to be learning as I go here. But hopefully by the end of this, we'll actually have a horse headshot on the screen. So I went ahead and I created a render texture. Never used this before, but as far as I know, this is what you're supposed to use. So now we're going to go in and we're going to redesign the horse screen or page, I guess, to look a little bit more like what we want. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a new image. We'll add it to the identity card. We're going to give it a fixed size. I'm debating on that. Actually, I think we're not. I think we're just going to let it kind of take up the height of this container since this is dynamic. If it's going to work like that for me. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, we have that image created now. Nothing crazy. Holding the 1-to-1 aspect ratio. And then for now, sure, this will be our image placeholder. So I'm going to take a little bit now to figure out that render texture, put that in there, and then we'll start working on actually creating the horse and how we interact with and show real horses. Okay, so I realized I didn't actually have my horse imported into the project, and this is just like some temporary assets I bought. I'm not really planning to use exactly this in the end game, but as I'm not a 3D designer and I don't have one yet, we're just going to go with this for now. So we're going to just take the naked horse prefab, and then we're going to copy this into our own prefabs. But this should be all we need. It's going to look a little bit wonky, but we just need to like know that we can instantiate the prefab, and then we can actually look at the horse. So now I'm going to go back into code, take a little break here, and I'm going to actually wire up that image to show our render texture of the camera, and hopefully that'll all work as we need it to. Okay, so after messing around for a bit and then having to move some things around, I was able to get this to display. We actually have the camera kind of in a place we want. I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me see exactly where it was, but when we launch the game, if it wants to load for us, we look and bang, our horse is right there. Obviously we want to add like a little bit of gap. This doesn't look realistic, but hey, our horse is there. It's going through doing its animations. We're just going to want it to stand still, but that's something we can mess with when we do with the controller. So you'll see over here we have the horse headshot clone. I'm going to use this since I can actually view things right now to mess with our camera positioning a little bit because I'm not super happy with it. So that can just be 0. I'm going to go into the horse and see If I disable the animator, yeah, it just kind of gets stuck. Okay, that's kind of where we want it. Horse with its head down. So I think we're a little bit too high here. Go down to 2. Maybe we want to go on a little bit of a side angle. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I think this is where I want it. Okay, and then we go like minus, oops, plus, a little too far. So we mostly want to be straight on the horse, but maybe a little bit of an offset. This is all like, it can change. So that kind of puts the horse in the middle, and then too far, maybe a little too close. I would say that's pretty good. I'm definitely going to want to pick like a pose with the horse where its heads up a little more. And now I'm second guessing this. I don't really like the horse being off centered like that. Maybe I do. It's a little hard to look like straight at the horse. Yeah, maybe being angled up at the horse would be better. And then we drop to like too low. Okay. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to being angled from the side. Okay. For now, that's good enough. I need to jot these numbers down. Go 0.2, 1.55, 2.5, negative 15, 165, 0. Okay, I've got those in my notes. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna edit the prefab now, so we can save what we wanted there. Okay, so we have those in place. I still don't know why it's not letting me view with this camera. It's only showing me the main camera. Yeah, that's something I'll have to look into. But we were able to get it set up looking mostly like what we want for now. So we're gonna call that a success. So now we're gonna have to like actually do some coding, so we can do a few things. We need to be able to set the horse's coat color, so it actually matches what your horse is. Obviously, we don't want the horse running through all these different animations. We want the horse to have some life there, but we don't want a whole bunch going on. And then we're gonna want to set some sort of background, just so we're not looking at this blank weird sky background. So we'll start by going ahead and attaching the script to the horse, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it looks like we have the horses loading, and I think their colors loading, but I think right now they're all bay, and I also don't have all the color textures I need. For some reason, this 2-year-old isn't loading as we would expect it to, so that's something I'm gonna have to look into. Then you go back, and you'll see when we load the second horse, the horses are inside of each other. So we're just gonna have to go back and do a little bit of cleanup there. But right now, at least we can see our horses, and I think at least it's loading how we want it to. So then the next thing to do is to clean up horses once we load one of them in, so we're not having this weird overlap. And then we're also going to want to add a background and get the actual right animation like I mentioned earlier. So we'll work on doing that next. Okay, so I still have a lot to figure out about animators in Unity, but I did finally figure out how to get the idle loop to keep playing. It looks terrible right now because it's like 1 second clip and the horse is just going back and forth. But we do have like our horse's headshot in here going again and again. This is like live to an extent. like I said, I think we want to add a little bit of background. Eventually, I'm planning on building like an actual stable for the horse to be sitting in, so it doesn't look like the horse is just floating in Narnia or whatever. Um, but yeah, let me add that quick just to kind of polish this off, and then we'll call it good for now. Okay, this is just a random stock image I found. Obviously, not staying in the game, but there you have it. There's our horse, up close and personal. He's in there. I guess I should probably, round the corners of his image, put a little gap in there. We'll do that quick before we finish up. But overall, this looks pretty good. Okay, there we have it. It's still not exactly styled the way I want to, but I'm not going to spend too much more time messing with it, especially since this background's not permanent. The horse looks a little bit messed up right now. But yeah, this like at least gives you a little bit of, hey, this is my horse in my stable. We're gonna see dynamic colors eventually. Not yet, because right now every horse gets created as bay. And we're gonna keep working on these textures and making it better, making a better animation. But hopefully this makes it feel a little bit more like you're playing a horse game and not just a spreadsheet simulator. So thanks for watching, and I'll try to keep updated with a new video pretty soon. Thanks.